The nitrogen cycle is something that we all have begun with and learned about. We all have been beginners, and maybe even some of you are beginners that are watching now that wants to begin with this hobby, with this wonderful, wonderful aquarium hobby. In this video I will tell you what the nitrogen cycle is, how the cycling process works, why it's necessary, and why you can't just throw your fish in when you just get your new aquarium at home. Keep watching and you'll find out. Hello guys, my name is Jennifer, you are watching Fishy Pet Keeping, and today I will explain to you what the nitrogen cycle is. I post educational videos, updates on some of my tanks, so if you're interested in this topic then don't forget to hit that subscribe button and hit that notification bell so you don't miss a single update that I make. So let's begin! Whoop whoop! Now the nitrogen cycle can be explained in 3 steps. The first step is ammonia, which is also known as NH3. The second step is nitrite, NO2-, and last but not least, nitrate, which is NO3. Don't get this confused with nitrite, it's quite different actually, and I will explain why in a second. When you first start your aquarium, you will need an ammonia source. This could be ammonia in a bottle or even fish food that begins to rot on the bottom. But why is this necessary? Ammonia is toxic to fish, right? The ammonia source will start a cycling process and live bacteria will consume this ammonia. But where do you find live bacteria? It's in your tank from the start, but if you want to speed up the process of cycling, then you can get bacteria in a bottle. Now these are the live bacteria I was talking about. You can find it in practically every single pet store or fish store. This is by Evolution Happy Life, and this is the Happy Start, and it contains healthy bacteria in a bottle. Just follow the instructions on the bottle and you're good to go. Just be aware though, most brands will tell you on the back that you will be fine by adding your fish immediately after adding this product. I'm not specifically talking about this product, but I'm talking about most brands. Most bottles will say that it's completely safe to add your fish directly after. Now, if you're a beginner, I don't recommend doing that. But if you're an advanced aquarist, then you will probably be fine. Advanced fish keepers usually test their water parameters consistently. We may even test our water parameters every single day, or even multiple times a day. And the reason why it's usually not safe for beginners to add the fish directly after is because the bacteria will not consume the ammonia right away. It will take some days. It may even take weeks for the ammonia levels to drop. And what do these bacteria do when they consume the ammonia? They turn it into nitrite. Nitrite is also toxic to fish if it's exposed to too much of nitrite. But these bacteria will also turn these nitrites soon into nitrate, which is way less toxic for your fish. And make sure your nitrates are below 40 ppm. If it's above that and you don't have a lot of plants, then you will need to change your water. Not 100% though. Never do a 100% water change at the same time. I always go for at most 50%, because if I do more than that, then I risk of destroying the bacterial colony. Now that you have added your ammonia source and live bacteria, then you will have to check your water parameters every few days. But what if you don't have a water test kit? I highly recommend going out of your way to just buy a kit. Now if you're low on money, like many of us are in these times, you can buy those little test strips. You know, those little tiny paper strips that you just dip in the water. I personally use liquid tests because I find those to be more accurate. And now those paper strips are accurate too, but not as accurate. And now, as we said before, live bacteria turns ammonia into nitrate. No. Now I mixed that together. Live bacteria turns ammonia into nitrite, which then turns into nitrate. But how do we know when it's fully cycled? The ammonia levels must be 0 ppm, ppm meaning parts per million. And the nitrite levels must be as low as possible. I would say 0.1 ppm or less. And you should at least have some nitrates in your tank. And when your water parameters shows just that, your tank is fully cycled. It is as simple as that. Okay, so now, how do you maintain a healthy and cycled aquarium? First, don't change any more water than about 50% of the time. Because if you change too much water, you run the risk of disturbing the bacterial culture, which, by the way, is vital to your fish's health. You could say that the bacterial culture works as our immune system. Now let's say if we don't have any good bacteria in our body, then we won't be able to fight off infections and diseases as easily. And also, don't thoroughly clean your tank. And by that I mean taking everything out, like the gravel or the sand or whatever you use, all of the decorations, and scrubbing those completely clean and boiling the gravel. Because, as we said, bacterial culture equals good. And also a very, very important thing, never ever use detergents. All of those chemicals in that water may actually kill your fish. Just a sponge in warm water is fine. But what about the filter? Don't you have to run that under tap water to clean it? No. Fill a bucket with a little bit of your aquarium water, not tap water, because remember, we don't want to get rid of all those bacterial cultures. And then take your filter out, take your sponges or sponge out of your filter, and just squeeze all of the goo that is inside the sponge in the bucket. And empty the dirty water into the sink or toilet or wherever you empty it. And repeat this until your water is almost completely transparent. And one more tip, if you have to add medications like antibiotics to your water because your fish is sick or something like that, when the medication is all finished, then I recommend adding a little bit of live bacteria because the antibiotics may kill off some of your beneficial bacteria. And this is how I would explain the nitrogen cycle for you. I hope this has been educational and that you've learned something. And if you haven't learned something, then I hope at least that you enjoyed the video. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye! And also, happy pet keeping!